You're live now. Good evening.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Hope everyone's doing all right.
We'll give people a few minutes to get in. You say you can see. There's nobody in just yet. Happy Friday. I know it's been some time since we've been live. We'll give some people a few minutes. As you're coming in, let us know that you're here. Say hello. I see it's one person here. Say hello when you come in. Good evening. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Say hello. And since it's still my birthday month, you can wish me a happy birthday. Since it's still May, you can say happy birthday, Jesaira. Gonna give you a few more minutes to come on in. Hello. Hey, Tay. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We're going to start off today with a meditation. So give a few people some more time to come on in, and we're going to start with the meditation. It has been a tough week. Would you agree? It's been a lot of stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of things happening this week in our country, or the last few weeks. It's been a lot that has been taking place. And we're not going to necessarily talk about that per se, but we're going to talk about some things. So I'll give some people a few more minutes, and then we're going to do a meditation. What I want to invite you to do is, if you are interested in participating in the meditation, to find a place that is comfortable to you, a place that you can retreat to, a place where you can decompress, a place where you can just kind of let your hair down in this moment, because we're going to lead you into a meditation. So let me know when you're ready. We'll give some people some more time. If you, some people like to do meditations on the floor, sitting comfortably in a chair with a yoga mat. Whatever you want to do, however you want to get comfortable, feel free to do so. And then we're going to get started. I think someone else is saying hello. I can't see. If you're saying hello to us, I don't know that I can't see. I just see Tasia. All right. Maybe one more minute or so. I'm going to do the meditation. I'm going to read out of my little meditation book. This is a book that I use a lot of times in my therapy sessions. And if I am not reading the meditation, I will find meditations that I believe is apropos for my clients in their sessions. And we thought today would be a good day to kind of lead us into a meditation with affirmation first. So one more minute, I'll give people one more minute. If y'all can let me know if you're planning to participate in the meditation. If you're ready, I'm ready. Put in the chat, I'm ready. Let's go. We can go from there. And those who are watching it on the replay, if you could say, hey, I'm ready, replay. Just let us know, kind of get a gauge for who's out there. She's ready. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. All right. Okay. So let us know if you can hear the music and me talking. If it's the music is too loud, let me know and we'll turn down the music. All right, but we're gonna get started here. I don't know if it. Can you all hear that music? You might not be able to hear it. I'm ready. Okay, awesome. Can you all hear the music? Tell me I can hear the music. If you can't, I can't hear the music. We don't own the rights to this music. Okay. Is it up all the way?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you can hear it. Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to invite you at this time to close your eyes. And Crystal, if you could model for them how to participate in a meditation, that would be great. So I invite you to close your eyes, or if it does not feel safe for you to close your eyes, to take a low gaze, looking down at your nose, whatever feels safe, whatever feels comfortable. I invite you in this moment to take a few cleansing breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're preparing and we're in this space, just visualize something that brings you joy, something that brings you peace as we prepare to go into this meditation this evening. We are constantly under pressure to prove how much we can do and how independent we are. Wouldn't everything be a lot easier if we could understand that each of us is merely a part of the whole? All we can offer the world are our own individual talents. The affirmation. Today, I will take a gentle look at my scars and wounds. And you can repeat this silently if you like. Today, I will take a gentle look at my wounds and scars. They will show me that even a stony path brings adventure and experiences. I notice the things that are, have been, and will be instructive and wonderful. As we head into our meditation, once again, don't forget to breathe. We're going to take a self-compassion break. Are you thinking about a difficult episode in your life that upsets or agitates you? Try not to suppress it, but to accept it. It is what it is. Perhaps an argument with someone close to you, a loss, pain, whatever it may be. Use this calming power of touch by giving yourself a hug. You can either place one hand on your heart or the other hand on your solar plexus, which is literally right below your belly button, or on your cheeks and hold your face, whatever feels comfortable. But focus wholly on yourself as best you can. Become aware that you are suffering or afraid in this moment. Say to yourself with your inner voice, it hurts, it does hurt, or ouch, or something similar, as a way of expressing the thought that things are not well with you right now, and that you are holding yourself to gain courage and strength. Next, remember that everyone suffers sometimes and is afraid or feels inadequate or in pain. Tell yourself, I am not alone. And silently repeat that to yourself. I am not alone. I am not the only one to have problems. They are a part of human life. I am not the only one to have human problems, to experience pain, to experience disappointment. They are a part of human life. I am human. Finally, whisper affectionate, uplifting phrases or words to yourself. Silently, may I be safe and secure. May I feel safe and secure. May I feel brave and strong. May I feel peaceful and unburden, or just inner peace, or just safety, simply relaxation, contentment. May I feel safe and secure. You're sure to feel more peaceful within just a few moments. Take a few more cleansing breaths in through your nose.
Wow, look at this.
In through your
94% of
nose
people.
and out through your mouth. Again, in through your nose and out through your mouth. And you might take this moment as we prepare to close to extend gratitude for taking out time in this part of the evening to create space, to offer compassion, self compassion, and love and gratitude to self. As you sit in this moment, just take a few seconds just to relish in this calmness, in this stillness. And whenever you feel ready, you can open your eyes. Awesome. How was that? How was that, everybody? Did that feel good? How did that feel?
It was relaxing.
It was relaxing. It was needed. How did it feel for you all out there? For those that participated? Did it feel nice? Did it feel uncomfortable, weird? Can't really see. I don't know. Hello, Mom, God. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Relaxing. Awesome. It felt relaxing. Good. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So I started it off, so I'm going to hand it over to my beautiful sister and we'll continue. If you like that meditation and you want more of that when we start our sessions or different things of that nature, it was nice for Friday. Yes. Awesome. Red Hazel Inspirations. Hi. I don't know who that is, but hello. Good to have you. I'm happy that that was relaxing. And if you want more of that, we'll do more things like that. I have a ton of meditation, ton of instruments, ton of everything for sessions. And it really does make a world of difference. All right. So we'll talk a little more about that at another time.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we did that. What is that?
Oh, I was just going to say if anyone else wanted to still kind of share.
Oh, okay, yeah. Share any experience. Yes. Did a word come up? Did anything come up? Did you reflect on anything? I guess I'll give you a moment to do that. Hello, I missed it. I love meditations. I do them day. Oh, awesome, Benita. That's amazing. Good. Good. I do meditations daily as well. They have become a normal part of my life for the last, probably honestly, since COVID, I think that I really have been intentional about meditation and about grounding. Everything around us is chaotic right now, so it's important that we're able to find some peace and some solace from within. And for me, meditation is one of those ways. Listening to music and affirmations. If you don't do affirmations is a great way as well to kind of help to center yourself and to bring yourself into a space of calmness. So I'm happy that this was helpful. And once again, if you want us to do more of this kind of stuff to begin our sessions, or our sessions to begin our conversations, we are more than glad to do that. More than glad to do that. All right.
I just want to say that meditation was a nice reminder of, showing oneself compassion.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear that, and it resonated with me just because of this week, kind of what Yes, I'm open.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah. So just kind of what I've been going through this week, it was just nice to remind myself and take some time. So leading me into what we're going to talk about, and it may evolve into even more than just this, but self compassion is what I was thinking about. As far as myself,
Mm-hmm.
just in general, like when I reflect on my life, like when I got here in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
um, I have made some pretty good strides, I can say that I have, business wise and personally and spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but because sometimes I can be so judgmental towards myself, then I can find a lot of reasons why I can still do better and don't always acknowledge
Okay.
the progress that I have made.
Mm-hmm. So when
And
you say judgmental, you're talking about the inner critic. The inner critic.
yes,
Okay.
yes, inner critic. And I gave my inner critic a name, and that's something that I encourage my clients to do as well. And we kind of process that in sessions. So the inner critic that often is in my ear, her name is Rebel. And so usually I know when she's talking because it's not about like just an area in which I can improve, but it's more so a lot of self doubt, like comments as if I'm just not good enough. These thoughts just kind
Mm-hmm.
of going on and on in my head and being very judgmental again. Like if I make a mistake or if maybe I don't always show up as my best self, but just having those moments where it's just that I'm like the worst. It's like overgeneralization. So I'm the worst clinician in the world if I'm having a bad day in session, or maybe I don't process like I think that I should with a client, or just in my own personal life. If I'm not, I was talking to my therapist about this, me doing self care now because I tend to defer sometimes my moments of self care to later on in the day. I was judging myself for doing that and saying, "Well, I'm waiting till the 11th hour to do it. I do it at 11:45. Like, why do I do that?" And my clinician, my therapist was like, "Well, Christal, at least you're doing it. Like, give yourself credit that you're taking time out for yourself
Mm-hmm.
to do it." And so I encourage you to extend yourself compassion in that way. And so just being able to have that conversation with her is just it's just been a good reminder because I can always, well, I can say Rebel can always find little cracks to kind of jump in and make it seem as if I'm just the worst whatever. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the absolute worst thing in the world just because things are not always perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's interesting that you brought up the word perfect because as you were talking, I actually was thinking about perfectionism and, um, a lot of the battle with self compassion seems to be around the fact that there's an high expectation that we set for ourselves to to be perfect. Um, there is a book called the CB. It's a CBT book for perfectionism, and it's a book, a workbook that I've been working through with several clients of mine. And one of the things that is sticking out as you're talking right now is the fact that there's a difference between perfection and excellence. And sometimes we confuse the two. And the author talks about the difference between the two and how excellence is about offering the best version of yourself with the tools and the resources that you have at the time. And that's accepting yourself when you are maybe not the best version of yourself for according to your standards or whatever, but really assessing and looking at, hey, what do I have that's available to me at this time, and am I working that to the best of my knowledge and ability,
Mm-hmm.
even when I'm having a weak moment, and giving yourself the benefit of doubt when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And like your therapist said, you're being productive, or in this case, you're still being excellent because perfection is not realistic. perfection would suggest and offer these lofty type expectations that I can never mess up, that I can never make mistakes. And excellence gives you that space to make mistakes, gives you, creates an opportunity for you to be human.
Mhm.
That being excellent versus being perfect. And so as you were talking, that kind of came up because, yeah, that seems to be a struggle for a lot of people. So it's hard when you mess up or when you're having a weak moment to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and to be compassionate.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Excellence versus perfection.
That's
Um,
yeah.
what I'm thinking about, and any one of you all have any thoughts, please feel free to share kind of what you're thinking as it relates to this topic. Um, Perfection essentially is an illusion when I think about it, because who can really be perfect? There isn't really
Wow.
anything that's perfect. But
It's an illusion.
when we see people even posting on social media pictures,
Well, yeah, the filters
their
and-
lives
Mhm.
present
Right back.
something that's perfect,
Mhm.
but it's only because there have been probably so many retakes, or only because of what's being shared is what is going well in people's lives.
Right.
And so it can come off as perfect, which again is really an illusion because it's not perfect.
Correct. It's not perfect at all. And I think that one of the things that I do and I try to do intentionally, I know that people may say, "Oh, Jesaira, you post a lot on um, Facebook or whatever," and I do post a lot. I'll take that. I own that. But I try to balance it out with the good days and the bad days. Like I was very intentional about when I say the bad days, the days that probably where I don't look perfect, but I'm showing my human proclivities and things of that nature. I Earlier this week I posted my thoughts and my feelings about the shooting, and I mentioned that I was both sad and angry, and for some to express anger, to acknowledge anger is a bad thing for some, but I don't subscribe to that notion. I tend to think that presenting myself authentically, the good, what some will call the bad, the uncomfortable, um, helps me helps me to manage my inner man, because there's nothing more frustrating than to live in this place where you feel like you have to always add up. You have to feel like you always have to add up, and you never feel like you're enough. And that's a horrible place a miserable place to kind of live in all the time. So I intentionally try to expose weak areas of myself and of my life. I can't see what that says. That says something else.
Be true to thyself. Yes,
Yes.
Benita. Absolutely.
Yeah, being true, absolutely being true to self. When we do that, we can create space for others. Because I think what happens is inadvertently, when we are not self-compassionate, it's very hard for us to extend compassion to other people.
Definitely.
And it's hard for us then to empathize with them, to see things through their lens when they mess up, or we're putting them down really harshly. But when you can extend that to yourself and understand that, hey, I'm not perfect and it's okay. I'm not perfect and it's okay. We're not even comfortable saying words like I'm okay. Lately, I've been learning how to lean into every season of my life. We have 4 seasons, natural seasons, right? We have the summer, fall, winter, spring, and I name all of them: summer, fall, winter, and spring. Yeah. We have all of these seasons, And some may say, oh, well, the seasons don't show up like they used to because of the ozone layer or whatever. But the truth of the matter is, they may not show up within the same time frame. But if you notice, they show up, the seasons show up at some point in the year. And so it's the same with our life and with our journey. Every moment isn't going to be pleasant, but every moment isn't going to be sunny. There's some rainy days, there's some days that's stormy, there's some days that's full of snow, and being able to embrace, being able to be okay with that and say it's okay. It is okay. It's hard, it's that seems to be a very hard place for us to kind of to live in that space where it's okay.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, because winter, most often we don't like winter. It's hard to navigate, to deal
Right.
with the cold and, inclement weather, all of the things that come along with the storms,
Yeah. But
if
there's
you will.
also, yeah, but there's also even with there's such thing called ice therapy
Mm-hmm.
where cold can become the very thing that preserves your immune system, that
Mm-hmm.
builds up your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us don't know that. When we see people walking outside without a
Mm-hmm.
coat on in the winter, and they're trying to build up their resistance and they're building up their immune system.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us never equate the cold to actually being something that can also ward off disease and
Mm-hmm.
sickness.
Mm-hmm.
It can. There's a such
Yeah.
thing as ice therapy.
Yeah.
Um, so even when you put it in that context, every season serves its purpose in my life. Every season in my life serves its purpose. It has
Mm-hmm.
a reason for showing up. And if I am quick to try to get out of one season into the next season without getting what I need to get or ascertain out of the season, then I am doing myself a disservice. And what happens is I end up repeating it. And that's where a lot of the frustration comes in. And that's where it becomes difficult to offer self compassion and love, self love, because now I might be repeating the same cycle over and over again because I haven't stopped to learn the lesson
Mm-hmm.
or to just be in the season that I'm in. And that means I might not be smiling every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I
what that
agree.
says.
I'm
I,
at my best self when I can be.
yes, at
Absolutely.
your best self when you could be. Yes, yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other thoughts for everybody here?
Well, when you were talking about the seasons and all four of them and embracing them and knowing that there's a reason for, not to sound cliche-ish, but a
Mm-hmm.
reason for the season. And
Yeah.
so essentially there's a lesson to be learned and there's something that can be extracted from each season.
Right.
That makes me think about ourselves and every part of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
accepting that, the good,
Mm-hmm.
bad, the ugly,
Mm-hmm.
because that too is all part of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we're constantly evolving. So being able to embrace ourselves as we are,
Mm-hmm.
I think can be very challenging. And there was when I was doing some journaling about self love,
Mm-hmm.
I thought of an acronym
Mm-hmm.
for self.
Mm-hmm.
And what came to me was satisfaction, even with more left to fix.
Wow. Don't steal that. Satisfaction with still,
Even with more left to
even
fix.
with more left to fix.
Mm-hmm. Self.
Wow.
Self
Satisfied. It's
love.
almost like satisfaction or satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so I was
Wow.
thinking about that self love.
Wow. Wow. That brings up a lot for me when you say that. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I
Yeah.
think about I I uh, you're making me think about a blog post that I wrote. I wrote a blog several years back. Oh, it's probably been about 10 years or so. And the name of the blog was Flawed But Perfect. was called Flawed but Perfect. So this is the interesting twist on the word perfect, but flawed but perfect. And I was talking about in the article how, or in the blog entry, how my skin had been a strong point of embarrassment, dissatisfaction. I was at the time I was performing. I was a performing artist, so skin is very important. So I did not had acne scars, and I was just so weary of dealing with that. And even as a performer, it's like, man, I have to put this makeup on because these lights are on me. And it felt really weird that I would be a performer and I had these flaws, that I was heavier and that I had flawed, blemished skin. And I remember as I was well, what inspired me to write it, I was doing a tour. I was on tour in California. I was doing a play, I was doing a musical called um, Menopause the Musical. That was the name of the musical. And I was doing a tour in California, and I was getting ready to go onto stage, and I was looking at my face, and I was like, I just hate my face. I said that out loud to myself. And something said to me, why would you say that about something that I created? And so it was like God, creator, began to speak to me, like, why would you insult what I've created? You're perfect. And that's where the perfect piece comes in. You're perfect just as you are. So, but that perfection was in me learning how to accept myself in that moment. So what I did was I was like, man, I never thought about it like that. I looked in the mirror and I began to look at all the flaws. And it became clear to me that when you can learn to love you and accept you, then you actually open the door for others to love and accept you unconditionally. Yeah, you have flaws. We all have flaws, but you're fearfully, wonderfully, perfectly made in the image of the creator. And that's what he was saying to me. God sees us. Yes, he does. And so that was like a eye-opening kind of experience that caused me to begin this journey of self-acceptance just as I was. So once I accepted that I had flaws on my, my skin and X, Y, and Z, then I was open to receiving the help to get my skin corrected, because before I was avoiding it. Do you understand? I was avoiding because of shame, because of embarrassment, because of pride, right? But once I could accept that this was okay, then I could get the help. And then for the first time in years, for the first time ever, not in years, but the first time ever, I began to seek out a dermatologist. That's something I had never done because I was afraid to do that, right? I was ashamed, right? So just that opened the door for me. Even when I talk to clients and people about weight loss, the key to weight loss is first personal acceptance. Fat and all, whatever. That's the key to transformation, is personal acceptance. When you can accept yourself just as you are, and you can say, I'm okay. I didn't ask you if you thought I was okay. You didn't create me. The creator did. He knew what he was doing. I'm okay. You don't have to like me. I'm okay. I'm perfect as far as how he created me, the creator. My gifts, my talents, my abilities, there is no error in that. But when I'm trying to do everything by the letter of the law, then that's where I mess up, when it's trying to be. No, but the way that I'm made, I'm perfectly made. There's no flaws in how I was designed. My design, my self-design is right. It's perfect. My self-design. So that's the kind of when I think about, what you're saying, and I know that puts a little twist on the perfectionism, because when we talk about perfectionism, it's more about expectation, when we started off talking about expectation and behavior and habits.
Right.
When I talk about perfection now, I'm saying in terms of creating the way that you were created, the way that you are made, the way that you show up in terms of your personality, in terms of your looks, in terms of the family that you were born in. That was not by mistake. Everything about that is aligned the way it should be aligned. I don't know if that kind of makes sense. Yes, you are enough. Yes, yes, yes. You can't get help if you don't enough. Absolutely, absolutely. Are there other thoughts out there? Thank you, Benita. That's so like powerful. What were you? Are you thinking anything else that we can maybe offer some tips and?
I'm just kind of taking it in.
Oh, are you taking it in? Oh, okay,
It's
okay,
a great conversation.
okay. Yeah, I wish more people were watching. This is one of those conversations where, um, it's a self-reflective conversation that is needed, but it's easy to kind of run from at the same time. Yeah, we struggle to like ourselves. I think about how we do, and even when I take pictures, now when I take pictures, I intentionally don't put the filter on. I don't even know how to use a filter. This I'm not knocking nobody who does. I'm just talking about this is just Sarah's journey. This is I ain't talking about nobody else. But I learned how to love me in my natural state. That was the other piece, even with my hair. Getting lots and all that stuff coming up out of the weaves for me. For me, this is not anybody else. Just talk about my journey. That was all necessary for me. I remember people ask me about when I got my locks. I got my locks intentionally. It was a journey that I knew I was supposed to take. It was another journey towards a deeper self-love. And
That's good. I agree with you. This is a conversation that we tend to run from because it's like exposing ourselves. Like we really are struggling in that area. And that can be it can be vulnerable to say that. And difficult. That makes me think about something for me is getting a pedicure. Now, you know I don't like pedicures. The last time I got a pedicure was last year, and when we were in Hawaii. My husband and I were in Hawaii. I got a pedicure. But I decided the other day that I was going to treat myself to a pedicure, even though they are very anxiety inducing for me. For one, I don't like people touching my feet, and I don't like people seeing my feet. And I get really embarrassed about my feet. And so I decided to get a pedicure, and that's huge for me. And I told myself that I would thank you. I told myself that I would do that for myself because I wanted to do that, and I wanted to take better care of my feet and being able to have people care for them in that way who know how to do that and can provide tips. Then it would behoove me to put myself in that environment and get that help. So I decided that this is something that I was just going to start doing for myself, embarrassed and all. I was embarrassed last night, but I still did it. And I was doing some deep breaths and fighting through the anxiety of it. That might seem very benign for some people, but for me, it was not.
Yeah, no, that was major for you.
But that's a matter of me accepting my feet as they are and saying, you know what, I'm going to provide care to you, or I'm going to take care of you and not ignore you, because that's what I was doing, was ignoring my feet because I was embarrassed by them. And the fact that they're not what I want them to be. But how else are they going to get better if I don't tend to them versus just ignoring them? Correct.
It was the same, like I was saying about my skin, right? It's the same thing. Yeah, it's the absolute same thing. It's very interesting because we are all human. I sometimes I don't think we realize that we're more alike than we are different. And when I say more alike than we are different, I'm not talking about people that are outliers, that are evil and doing da 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 da.
Mhm.
At the core of our being, I'm saying I believe that we all want to be accepted, loved,
Mhm.
and embraced for who we are. And at the same time, we all struggle to be vulnerable when we know we all need it. When we know we need each other. I think Benita said something. I can't say what I said.
Since this week I started a journey towards better health, I had to share how much I weighed. That was difficult for me, but I did it. And
Yes, yes.
congratulations, Benita. Absolutely.
Congratulations, Benita. But
That's
yes,
it.
that's
Mhm.
it. That is
Mhm.
absolutely it. Because
Mhm.
that self disclosure is the beginning of transformation.
Mhm.
Until we're willing to take that risk, you know, and put ourselves out there, we won't get the transformation that our soul longs for and that our soul desires.
Mhm.
We really won't.
Mhm.
Um, I think we really forget that we're all human. I don't know what we think we are. I don't know what we think we are, but this whole, where it's like almost like we're robotic and like we don't have feelings and like we don't have emotions and we don't feel and we don't. This is, as I think, this week is showing quite opposite that
Mhm.
we are impacted by not only what we do but where we live and what we take in, and we have to acknowledge that and
Mhm.
accept that so that
Yeah.
we can, yeah.
Mhm. It makes me think about how we're we're not taught to do that though. When I
we're
think
not
about the
we're
people that I
not
work with, full
we're not
grown adults who can't tell me how they feel,
right, right, yes.
who can't identify a feeling but tell me a thought instead,
Tell your thought instead.
because
Hmm.
we don't learn. And so
Hmm.
what do we in turn do
Hmm.
is stuff our
Hmm.
feelings, and then we are ticking time bombs and Tasmanian devils
Yes,
and
yes.
dangerous adults.
Dangerous adults, yes.
And that's just kind of back to your point, robotic, and it's like we're not allowed to feel. We're not, it's not modeled for us how to do it, and we really don't know how a lot of
We don't.
times.
And the other thing that comes up is we also don't know how to play.
That too. Oh,
That's
absolutely.
that's a part of it,
Absolutely.
right? Because if we play, if you notice, a child when they play, they don't have any problems exposing. They can fall and they fall down, hit their knee, they cry for a minute, they get back up and they start playing again,
So you
right?
see you witness an array of
You
emotions.
witness the array of emotions,
Mhm.
and the vulnerability.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
We lose that. We
Yeah.
become
I see you
jaded as
checking my
adults as
thoughts.
and we forget. We lose ourselves. We don't remember.
Yes. Very true.
So that's even with play. I can't give myself permission to play. I can't
Hmm.
give myself permission to be bad. Whatever it is, I can't give myself permission
Hmm.
to seek pleasure. I can't give myself it
Yeah.
because I'm so accustomed to pain, or I'm taught that I have to always suffer, and unless I'm suffering, I'm not living the best life. All of
Hmm.
this plays into our ability to just be okay and accept ourselves where we are, when we can just, it's called radical acceptance too. That's a
Hmm.
term in DBT. Radical accept. We can
Hmm.
just accept where we are and not
Hmm.
try to, and not judge it, and not
Yeah.
feel as though, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Yeah.
We're right where we're supposed to be at the same time. We're constantly against the clock, constantly against, trying to meet these goals and
Yeah.
comparing ourselves to
Yeah.
this one and that one, and
Yeah.
um,
Learn behavior. Yes.
yes,
Hmm.
yes, absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So, is there something more that you feel like you want to say? This is really good. Very sobering.
Hmm.
Very so.
Yeah.
I do hope that you all will share
Indeed.
this video. We've done a lot of lives, but this one in particular, I do hope that you will share, because
Hmm.
particularly given the time that we're in, I think what we're talking about is critical to our internal survival.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yes.
I hope that this is resonating with you all like it's resonating with us right now. Uh, what did I
Says
say?
thanks, ladies. This is amazing. Thank you, Benita. Happy you're
Awesome. Thank
enjoying it.
you, Bonita.
Absolutely.
I'm so honored that you even tuned in
Absolutely.
today. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Um, yeah, share this video. And before we close, we'll just maybe share a few tips. You share some tips that can help to push us towards more self compassion, and then I'll share, and then we can close it up. If you all have any questions, please let us know.
Absolutely. The first thing I think of, and you mentioned this already, was affirmations.
Okay.
And I use them, and there's an app that my sister told me about called Think Up. And this app I found to be very empowering, and I share it with my clients who are also using it. And with this affirmation, this app, there's a free portion where you can identify 5 affirmations that resonate with you.
Tell them what's an affirmation. Explain what an affirmation is.
Well, it's a positive statement essentially. When I think of affirmations, it's a positive statement. Whether or not you're talking about yourself or your future, it's just an uplifting statement. It's the way I would describe it. I don't know if there's something you would add more to
declaration, that it's a declaration and proclamation, and often they're in the present and usually starts with I am, pronouncing what you are. And that's a whole nother conversation, because words have power, words create frequency. And when the words are out when we hear ourselves speak words and those sound waves, it actually hits parts of our brain, and it activates parts of our brain where we're able to begin to believe what we hear, because our brain is creating neural pathways. And that's a whole nother, but yeah. So just to add to what you said about that.
And so the app in particular, it's where you can record yourself saying the affirmations, and then you can listen to the affirmations. So I have found those to be very powerful, specifically because most often the inner critic is in our own voice. So how much more powerful to counter that than hearing your own voice speaking those positive statements into your own spirit and soul. And so that is something that I like to use, and I found that to be really helpful with kind of pushing through those moments of difficulty when it comes to self-compassion.
Okay.
Excuse me. The other thing that I would say I think is important is to just letting things sort of kind of be, and not being so judgmental towards it, or ourselves, or even the moment. You said this already, but I think just kind of, it is what it is, acknowledging that, what is the app? It's called Think Up. Here, I'll type it. It's okay to acknowledge whatever it is, the feeling, even, I'm sorry, one second. I'm just typing that. Okay.
Yeah, there it goes.
Okay. So I put it there, Bonita. Yes. So being able to acknowledge that it is what it is, saying that it's okay, but just let it just be instead of judging it, is what I would say. It can be helpful when it comes to self-compassion.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. If I was to add, did you have anything else
I can't think of anything else right now. So you can go ahead.
Okay, so if I was to add any other tips, it would be to monitor your intake of things around you. Protect your ear gate, your eye gate, and what you speak. So that also entails protecting your environment. My business is Create Your Own Oasis, right? But I really try my best to teach people how to create the environment that will facilitate wholeness, that will facilitate healing, peace, that will facilitate, hey, good evening, Adu, good evening, that will facilitate the strength, the courage, the tenacity that you need. So protecting your environment. Only you know what's in your environment and what influences you. And if things in your environment have a not so good impact on you, be mindful of that because it does impact how you feel, your tendency to self reflect. When you're around people who are reflective and insightful, and those people who are doing the work, people who are interested in being the best version of themselves, when you're in those types of environments, that rubs off on you and that causes you to be more inclined. Is it like yes, it's like creating boundaries. Absolutely. That's exactly what it's like. It's like creating boundaries and doing so without any guilt or any judgment. Creating boundaries is protecting your peace. Hey, there's certain things that you cannot cross. I will not allow you to cross it. It's okay to do that with family as well. Sometimes we forget that with family, it gets a little iffy, but it is okay. And it's necessary sometimes to do that with family because often with family, the lines become very blurred and everything is in mesh. So it's good to be able to set those boundaries with family. So that's one thing. Setting, being mindful of your environment. The other thing to really fostering self compassion. In addition to that, is watching what I said, protecting the air gates, but hearing when you hear yourself on the Think Up app and the repetition. It's the repetition. There's a scripture in the Bible that says that faith comes by hearing the word of God, but hearing.
Mhm.
So, not doing the affirmations or listening to good things or healthy things for 1 day or 2 days, but consistently. Consistently is the key because consistently will create new pathways, new perspectives, and it's going to once again raise your vibration. Another tip is this may not seem like anything major, but it is watching what you eat. There are certain foods that we eat that elicit certain emotions and certain things in us. So, antioxidants, certain fruits like strawberries, blueberries, there are certain leafy vegetables. There are certain things that elicit certain emotions. This is why it's recommended that you stay away from a whole lot of meat, okay? Because meat can make you very, very weighty, heavy, and hard to digest. What that does to the emotional self is it makes you feel depressed. It makes you feel. Now, here's I'm not preaching that you should not have meat. That's not what I said. I'm saying excessive meat, particularly like the porks and the when beef is not lean, it can have an impact on you and cause you to live in a certain emotional state. So be mindful of what you're eating. Be mindful. Yes, pescatarian is cool. I was a pescatarian first, and then kind of began to transition into this like vegan lifestyle. But now I consider myself an intuitive eater. So I eat what I feel as though my body is saying for me to eat. But I am very mindful that I'm not in bondage at the same time, right? But we have to know our bodies. What we've done is we've neglected our bodies and we don't think of our um, emotional well-being being holistic from a holistic perspective. That it's not just me doing my emotional work, right? But it's what I eat, it's what I engage, it's how if I'm, am I exercising? It's how am I feeding my brain? It's all of those things that work collectively. When you do that, it also increases your improves your immune system as well, right? So there are foods, and maybe next time I'll talk more about, but there are certain foods that create certain elicit certain emotions and put you in a certain space. Yes, mind, body, and soul. Exactly right. So watching what you eat. I'm going to say the other tip that I have with regards to self compassion is really, really working towards saying things like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Not being quick to fix. As a matter of fact, there's times when I give my clients assignments where I call them growth assignments, where I am asking them to do something that they absolutely would not do, or something that is not reflective of perfect. Intentionally to leave that project for the next day to be completed versus trying to complete it all in one day. Giving yourself space for mistakes. That sounds crazy, but that does work. Giving yourself space to just let things be. Tomorrow will take care of itself. So you have a to-do list, and maybe perhaps you don't get through all 10 items, you get through 7 of them, just to help to kind of teach yourself and to sit with the uncomfortability and some of that anxiety behind not getting it done when you really wanted to get it done, to help you to embrace, hey, it's okay. And also to help you to accept the beauty of tomorrow, because everything doesn't have to be done in one day. I think that's all I got. Of course, if you're connected to God or your life source in any way, whatever you practice, a constant prayer life, meditation. If you don't pray, meditation, sacred readings, the Bible, whatever you read, the Torah, whatever it is that you read, these things can help also to build you up, okay? And to push you towards self-compassion, self-acceptance, and self-love. I think that's it for me. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was helpful. And I guess the other thing that's coming to me before we close out is also positioning yourself to be something for someone else. So when you're able to extend love and compassion, and when you're able to volunteer your time, your services, your energy, that's very fulfilling. And sometimes we can be so engulfed in our world that I think once again we forget that we're all having this human experience, and helping someone else can be a great reminder of that. That's all I got. I don't know if you have anything else. Happy to know this was helpful. Thank you for tuning in, everybody that did tune in. If you did not watch it from the beginning, please. This is probably my favorite one that we've done. This particular sister to sister, I'm asking that you share it, that you spread the word, that you comment, let us know that you watched it on a replay. Give us your thoughts. You can send me a message, inbox myself or inbox Christal. Will be tagged in the actual post once we get off. And I just want to encourage you all at this time to remember to love you, to accept you, to embrace you. And good, you're going to watch the replay. Thank you so much, Benita. I appreciate you all. We love you all. And listen, have a good rest of the night. And we honor those fallen soldiers who gave their lives as we commemorate Memorial Day. And for those that are suffering because of loss and death and the transition of any reason for any sorts and kinds, we hold you in our hearts. We hold you dear in our hearts. We're thinking of you. We're sending light, love, grace, and mercy to you. And we just want you to know that we care. We care. We care. We care. Do you have anything that you wanted to add? No. All right. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.